What's up? Well, it's been a while since I did one of my half meditative, half depressed little sitting in bed videos. I wanted to bring something up that's sat with me for a number of years now. I'm not really entirely sure what to do with this information, but it's about the meaning of life. There's two studies I want to refer to, neither of which I'm going to cite because I can't remember and I don't care if I'm right or wrong about this. First one. A study I read a couple of years ago said that people in the 1950s took less time to do their housework chores than they do now. Despite advances like the dishwasher and the microwave and all the kind of equipment and technology, we haven't saved any time. That's the first study. The second one was an anthropology one. Again, I can't remember the citation. And it was more of a speculative study because when you look back 100,000 years at the earliest humans, you kind of have to guess what they're up to. But they did some calculations, I guess some guesstimates, on the average kind of hunter-gatherer tribe or group, how much they had to work. And they came to the conclusion it's about 20 hours a week. Get food, collect wood, whatever, find a nest or a cave, get shit done. Now, one of the speculations that cannot really be proven, Yuval Harari talks about it in Sapiens and Homo Deus. Were they happier than us back then? Were the 1950s, let's face it, housewives, happier than the modern house husband or housewife? And were the hunter-gatherers of old happier than the, white-collar office manager today? We don't know, actually. Studies going back as far as the 1950s in terms of happiness and stuff are kind of invalid. We can't really use them as a comparison very well. We don't really know what was going on. We weren't studying that kind of stuff very well back then. And of course, what hunter-gatherers felt, who the fuck knows, right? But I would hesitate a yes on that one. I would hesitate that as we've become more productive, we haven't actually seen an increase in meaning of life. If anything, we've gone in the other direction. One of the points that Harari makes in his books is the earliest sapiens, the earliest humans, were about middle of the food chain. They weren't the top. We were hunted as much as we were hunters. And so we had real problems, you might say, which mean we also had real moments of being problem-free. If you find a good cave to stay in, for example, and you blockade that cave and you've got enough food to get through the next couple of days and your family's healthy, you probably wouldn't have any real anxiety. Because that's about as good as it gets. That's living the dream. And when something bad did happen, it would be something real. You wouldn't be imagining, oh no, I've got to speak at the presentation on Tuesday at the meeting. Some imagined fear, you'd be like, fuck, there's a tiger right there. We've got to deal with this. So any anxiety or fight or flight response, you'd use it right there and burn it off. And you'd either die or you'd live, and you'd have this huge winning sensation from living, right? Because your actual survival was at risk. These days, most of us, I think, are pampered. I remember seeing a young guy doing a speech. He was a refugee from somewhere horrific, Sierra Leone or something, and, he'd been orphaned young, seen lots of death and violence his whole life, and he, got refugeed or whatever to New Zealand and took up studies and stuff. And for him, getting it, I remember him talking about buying a new sweater at the store and how that was the highlight of his week. He couldn't believe he could just walk into a shop and buy some clothing. That whole system just freaked him out in the best way. And I thought, man, I'd be bitching about the sweater. I wouldn't be able to appreciate it like he does because I don't have the background that he does. I don't have his real problems. And the irony is, because of that, I suffer more than he does. And here, he's clearly able to enjoy things on a more meaningful level, at a much lower level than I am. He doesn't need the sophistication of stimulation that I do in order to have a good day. I don't feel sorry for him. I envy him. Doesn't mean I want to be a refugee from Africa sort of thing, but sometimes I yearn for like a disaster, for something real to expend my energy on and to make me appreciate life. I wonder if we've overcomplicated things. The so-called progress we're making. Is it really? What are we progressing exactly? Longevity of life? Lack of illness? Are these things actually meaningful to us? Because I look around, the classic, I look around when I'm parked at a intersection, I look up and I count the number of people who are on their phone versus those who aren't. I don't see somebody with their head bent down staring at a device in their hand as having a meaningful moment, And I wonder, how long's it been since we got up and we had, purpose and meaning? Now, I feel like I do have that these days, but Christ, it's complicated for me to get there. I had to start my own business and do all this crazy shit, just to, expend my energy on something worthwhile. Mark Manson, in the book The Subtle Art of Giving a Fuck, suggests that maybe meaning of life is just working on your golf swing on a Sunday, And I think he's making a pretty good point. Everybody's trying so hard, hustling so hard to find something great and meaningful, and missing a kind of obvious truth that's been with us through historical documents, which is simple problems to solve may be more meaningful. Don't know where I'm going with this. It's just something that's kind of haunted me for a couple of years as I pursue goal after goal and always trying to have a bigger impact on the world, or whatever it is that I get caught up in every now and then. I sometimes think, the other day I went for a little walk with my girlfriend to a waterfall and we checked it out. And then on the way back, we walked uphill, which was a bit of exercise. That was good enough. That was a meaningful day for me. I don't need more than that. But I forget that I don't need more than that sometimes. And I go looking for more. And once I start looking for more, I'm almost guaranteed to not find it. And all I end up with is less. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. Keen to hear your guys' thoughts. What is it about us modern times? Do we really have it better now? Or have we kind of gone too far? Is being the top of the food chain not all it's cracked up to be? Would a bit more risk and real life danger be of benefit to us? Keen to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Catch you next time.